So you know that song with hundreds of millions of streams that was also played in the credits of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie? Well, it probably comes as no surprise that that's not the only FNAF song created by this artist, because the Living Tombstone is an incredibly popular nerdcore musician with not 2, not 3, but 8 songs all about everyone's favourite Spooky Bear series. In my last video I said whatever the top comments suggested I did for my next one, I would do. And yeah, they might have spelt Tia wrong, but they don't deserve to get bullied for it. And if you have an idea for my next video, let me know in the comments. So in this tier list video, I'll be having a look at every Living Tombstone FNAF song and giving my thoughts, feelings, and critiques. And I do want to point out that none of these songs are bad. The Living Tombstone is a really talented musician, but, you know, something's got to come last. And anyway, I'd rather listen to any of these songs over Alex Warren. Finally, due to YouTube's rules, I'm not sure how much of each song I'll be able to play here. There's sadly not much I can do about that, but every song will be linked in the description, so you'll be able to find them all there. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we're starting where it all started. What's called the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 song. And look, this song is foundational. Like, genuinely, the DNA of so many FNAF fan songs, and honestly fan songs in general, trace back to this one. The atmosphere it creates, the way it captures the feelings of the game, the production, it set a template that people are still following. And that chorus, Five Nights at Freddy's, is this where you wanna be? A classic, iconic, I've got no notes. The only slight lyrical wobble for me is, I just don't get it, why do you want to stay? Like, it feels like there was a missed rhyme opportunity there. If they went for something like, I just don't get it, why don't you want to leave? That flows better and rhymes. It's a little bit head scratching that they didn't go for that, but honestly, that is just a minor thing. This song is solid for sure, and the honest reason it's not higher is just that compared to what the Living Tombstone would go on to do, this feels like the starting point rather than the destination, which is kind of the point, but I have to rank it against what came after. And I'd love to show you what came after, but first I need to really nicely ask my audience, that's you by the way, to like and subscribe, and then we can move on. Thanks guys. You know, I actually haven't asked people to like and subscribe in a while. I guess you could say, this one is special to me. What makes it so impressive is the instrumental range that keeps it really fresh. It opens with this creepy funfair sound, drifts into something atmospheric and ambient, then kicks into that signature Living Tombstone sound with a nice bass, what sounds like a distorted electric guitar, and then there's this full-on electronic instrumental section in the middle that just pops off, before it pulls back and ends on this really conclusive, almost reflective outro. Like, the sound itself just feels like it's wrapping something up, you know? But beyond the production, the concept is brilliant. This is a song from the perspective of a parent of one of the missing children, someone who we know must exist somewhere in the story, but who the games never actually give us. That is such a creative choice. It adds genuine emotional weight to the lore in a way that nothing else on this list quite does as well. It's amazing. I hope you die in a fire. Off the bat, best vocals we've heard so far, no question. Really strong performance from Lee Monty, I think is how you say it. My issue with it is more structural. The verses have this more traditionally epic sound, with chiming bells and guitars. I really hate you, stop getting. And then the choruses switch into what I would call quite intense techno, with a stop-start contrast that just makes it feel a bit disjointed for me, like two songs being stitched into one. And some of the lyrics don't quite land. I really hate you always sounded a bit childish to me, and I want to throw you out just like my broken TV honestly sounds more like a breakup song than William Afton wanting the ghosts of children he murdered to leave him alone, which is kind of a waste, because that concept is so rich. The idea that this serial killer who felt nothing but contempt is now haunted by exactly the people he viciously killed, you could go a lot further with that. The chorus going, you know, I hope you die in a fire, I hope you'll be shot. It just doesn't feel like William to me. He wouldn't hope his enemies get shot. He'd act. He'd violently and ruthlessly tear them apart himself, which is something we actually see in the music video, but we just don't get that in the lyrics, in my opinion. But look, this is still a solid song with a great vocal performance. The ideas are there, even if I think they could have been pushed further. It's not quite on the same level as the first FNAF song, but it's still solid, and for sure, not a skip. I Got No Time was originally meant to be the Living Tombstone's final FNAF song, and you can really feel that intention. It's paying tribute to everything that came before. There are elements that echo the first song with a similar structure, voice, interpolation of the main harmony. Even the overall feel, but it's all just evolved, more refined and more confident, I feel. When I was younger, I thought this song sampled all the Living Tombstone FNAF songs that came before it. I could only get proof that it sampled the first one, and whether or not it does sample songs 2 and 3, it doesn't really matter, because regardless, it feels like a love letter to the whole run, without ever feeling self-indulgent or too on the nose about it. It's basically the FNAF 1 song, if it had grown up a little, and I mean that as a compliment. It's just a really, very good song. The production is tight, the concept is strong, and it genuinely feels like a closing statement. Really hard to fault it. Okay, so I Can't Fix You is a genuinely interesting one for me because parts of this are honestly some of the best stuff on this entire list, and other parts are just not for me at all. The chorus is fire, the lyrics are catchy, the vocal performance from Crusher P is probably the best delivery across all of these songs, and production-wise, the chorus has these breakbeats that honestly sound a bit like intense UK garage. Like I feel like I could hear that chorus in some Bristol club somewhere. The Living Tombstone experimenting with garage production is so unexpected and so cool. The problem for me is what comes after the choruses. Dubstep drops. And look, this is completely subjective, but dubstep just isn't for me. It sounds very 2011, 2012 to my ears, and it causes the song to feel dated in a way the rest of it doesn't. On top of that, the song is just too long. Even if you just cut some elements, like 1 or 2 of the 3 dubstep drops, that extended oh oh whoa interlude, and maybe the 3rd verse as well, that would just make for a much tighter song, and one that I would like more. But that chorus alone with those crazy breakbeats almost makes it worth it. Genuinely one of the best choruses on this list, which is why this song is great in some areas, but flawed. This Comes From Inside is a much better song than Security Breach probably deserves. And I say that as someone who appreciates what Security Breach was trying to do with its throwback 80s aesthetic. What makes this one stand out immediately is that it sounds completely different to everything else here. It's not intense, it's not in your face, it's more ethereal, laid back, kind of 80s Phil Collins-esque, like relaxed, but still genuinely kind of epic. It's understated in a way that actually makes it feel more confident, not less. It doesn't need to shout to tell you it's drawing inspiration from a dark and serious story, it just is. And as this comment points out, the Living Tombstone also brings back the FNAF 1 voice for some of the older animatronics, which is a really nice touch. And the music video is genuinely brilliant, and actually does something cool with those rubbish Security Breach comics. It's also the only song on this list that I could play around my parents and they wouldn't clock that it's video game music. They'd probably just think it was some electronic 80s flavoured track. Neither of those things affect the ranking, by the way, but I feel like it's worth saying. For me, the fact that this song is this good and this different from everything else is why it sits so high. Look, remixes are tough, because to really justify existing, a remix needs to be better than the original, or at minimum, just as good. And the original Join Us for a Bite is iconic. This remix is honestly about as good as a remix of that song could be. You can tell immediately it's the Living Tombstone. Their fingerprints are all over it, and it's a fun, well-made reimagining. I also love that the video has Funtime Foxy doing the dance from that viral TikTok of that Burger King employee, which is just perfect. If this had come out first as an original, it would place much higher on this list, no question. But it didn't. I have to look at these songs in context, and the context is that the original came out long before, and it is just better than this remix. This one is just fun, like genuinely the most fun song on this entire list. Others are cool, others are epic, but this one has this lively bounce and swing to it that none of the others really do. It's also a song about a secondary character, Monty, telling a very specific story about something that may or may not have happened in the lore, which I really appreciate because some of the other songs were about their respective games as a whole, so having something this focused and character driven is a nice change of pace. The vocal performance is great and genuinely sounds Monty-esque. The chorus of "Step on in, step on him, step on up" is just a banger. And the sound effects of the bowling ball attack are worked into the song in a way that actually adds to it rather than feeling gimmicky. Also, if I was a giant angry robot alligator, I would absolutely do that little pipe spin thing before beating glam rock Freddy. Just putting that out there. All in all, this song is very good. So, what did you think of this tier list? And would you order it any differently? Thank you very much for watching this video, and if you'd like to support me, you can tell me what video I should make next. You can also buy me a coffee with the link in the description, but failing that, you can always like and subscribe. Also, there's a link in the description where you can make your own tier list based off this template if you're so inclined. Outro, 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 round off the video nicely, and then cut to the end screen. I think we got it there, don't you?